What happens when asking tough questions is outlawed? In March 2025, a Durban High Court judge issued a sweeping order. A journalist and 3 sources were provisionally barred from saying anything defamatory about a solar company to anyone. No proper hearing, almost no time to prepare, no consideration of the public interest, just a silencing imposed by the courts. I'm Caroline James, amaBhungane's advocacy coordinator, and this is the story of ARTsolar and why we stepped in. It started simply with questions about an allegation. Journalist Bhungane Hunts sent ARTsolar a media query. His sources, a former client and 2 ex-employees, said the company was importing solar panels, despite telling others they were locally manufactured. Instead of responding, ARTsolar filed an urgent court application. In less than 2 days, they secured an interdict preventing Hunts and his sources from speaking to journalists, to the state, to anyone. They didn't try to rebut the allegations, they tried to suppress them. The result? A chilling gag on journalism, and one that struck at the heart of Section 16, the constitutional right to receive and impart information. And that's why amaBhungane applied to join the case as a friend of the court, assisted by seasoned media lawyer, advocate Ben Winks, and the team at Weber Wenzel. We weren't just defending a colleague, we were defending the principle that journalism and information rights exist for the public's benefit, not simply the media's self-interest. As Ben explained, our courts have long recognized the media's role as a public sentinel, tasked with exposing corruption, dishonesty, and abuse of power. As one judge put it, to abridge the freedom of the press is to abridge the rights of all citizens. So, if the courts are to impose a gag, even temporarily, it can only be in cases where journalists are clearly abusing those rights, or where they are acting not in the public interest. But ARTsolar's court papers didn't meet that high bar. They admitted that they sell some solar panels that are not locally manufactured, but denied that they ever claimed that all their solar panels were locally produced. Their affidavit, then asserted, was remarkably threadbare. A free press depends especially on 2 things: the ability to receive information and the ability to impart information, that is, to publish. Courts have called source communication and source confidentiality a pillar of press freedom. Without it, wrongdoing stays hidden, whistleblowers stay silent, and the truth dies quietly. That's why the court's order in the ARTsolar case was so dangerous. It didn't just block a story, it blocked the public's right to know. Ben stressed that because the press is a conduit for the public's rights, even if a journalist, like Hunts in this case, fails to oppose an application, the court must still ensure that a convincing case has been established before granting any interdict. This is important because there are various reasons why a journalist, say a freelancer, may fail to oppose such an application. And because the right to know is being restricted, our courts have held that an interdict based on defamation should not succeed unless it is clear that the defendant has no defense. As Judge Roland Sutherland put it in another amaBhungane case, a South African court shall not shut the mouth of the media unless the fact-specific circumstances convincingly demonstrate that the public interest is not served by such publication. Even if some claims had been defamatory, and that was never proven, the order went too far. You can't gag defamation in the abstract. That's censorship. A judge can only stop the publication of specific unlawful statements, not all future criticism. Courts can't see the future, and they shouldn't silence it. In July, ARTsolar withdrew the case. They agreed to pay costs, but that was a hollow victory. We'd hoped for a decisive ruling that would protect press freedom for everyone. Instead, some of the legal questions are left hanging. But hopefully the message will still get through to judges and lawyers, because if journalism can be silenced this easily, we all lose. amaBhungane, digging dung, fertilizing democracy.